up, everybody? I'm Jake Alexander. Welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all doing okay. I am doing very well, yes, indeed. So it's been a while since we had a little talk, and I decided I wanted to come and talk to you today and tell you about my experience at Michgan Anime Convention. This was actually their very first show, and I really wanted to go. I didn't know this was their very first. I was thinking that they were somewhere else and they reformed and started this one. And I think that is the case, but this was their very first show here for sure as Michgan Anime Con. So I wanted to go and hang out and just check it out. I didn't take a lot of pictures, a lot of video. I did take some of a little bit, and you'll see some in this in a minute. But I went and I had a really good time. And this was the cosplay I went as. I did David Martinez from Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I'm pretty sure you know the jacket as soon as you saw it. So you actually get a chance to see about it in a minute. But yeah, this is my very first time going. This is their very first show here. Honestly, I was expecting less than what I got. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but I really was. I was expecting it to be a lot smaller, but they had quite a bit for their first show. The weird thing, what I'm not going to say is weird, but the really cool thing, which I don't think I've ever seen at a convention, was they actually had a JDM car show right in the center of it. They had some pretty neat cars in it. I even saw a minivan that I'm thinking of, like, if I ever buy a minivan, which I kind of need one. I have kids. I'll get my minivan decorated like that. It was actually a really cool van. Obviously they had guests, celebrity guests there signing. I actually got a picture with Zach Aguilar, the young man who actually does the voice for David Martinez in Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I got a picture with him as well. A really good show altogether. A lot of vendors like every other con. They actually had a video game tournament. I go tell you about how I did in that one. So I'm outside. I just had to come take a break. They actually had a video game tournament this year, and I actually got into it. Got my ass kicked. Still fun. I didn't do so well, but we'll leave it at that. But yeah, like I said, smaller convention, but it was really a lot of fun. I really like going to the smaller conventions as much, if not more, than going to the really big ones. Don't get me wrong. San Diego Comic-Con, AX, New York Comic-Con, all the really big ones, right? All the ones that you see talked about in the news the most. I love those. I love my really big local ones, Motor City Comic-Con, YomaCon. I love going to those. But I really like going to the really small ones, because when you go to the small ones, you can actually get closer to the fans, not just the celebrities, and, you know, get into the all of the vendors and whatnot. I still love doing those. But you really get to meet fans. I mean, like super dyed in the wool hardcore fans of who's ever going to be their celebrity guest wise, or their fandoms or whatever. They had a lot of Gundam there at Michgan Anime Con, and I saw a ton of Gundam fans, so much so. And now that I'm into it, I really wasn't into it because I didn't understand everybody's love for it. Don't get me wrong. Love Gundam. Iron Blood Orphans, very underrated anime. If you've never watched it, please do. But now I understand the fandom behind it a little bit more, because there were so many very dyed in the wool, very hardcore Gundam fans there. So now I understand it. So now I can see myself going and getting kits and building them myself. And as a matter of fact, I am going to go get one probably this weekend, and I'll build it and show it to you on the channel, but we'll get to that later. Like I said, really cool. But going to these smaller cons, again, you get to meet the really hardcore fans, and that's what I like. I really love meeting the really hardcore fans, the people who are just 100% into their fandom, do not care about anything else but maybe the one or two things that they truly like. And those are the type of people I really like to be around, because you really start to understand. If you've never been to a con and you go to these smaller ones, and you really start to understand what these things mean to people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know exactly what all these things mean to them. I'm as big a nerd for this stuff as anybody else. But again, it's, at least for people like me who already know, it's good to be reminded that there are people out there just like you. So that was always a really good thing. My actual favorite thing that I saw was, in fact, honestly, just a dyed in the wool, super hardcore fan of something that I liked, but I didn't believe anybody else liked it as much as I did. And that was Speed Racer. Saw a young man dressed as Speed Racer, got his picture. We talked for a while. We even talked about cars. So I know he's watching this. So if you're watching, in which I know you are, make sure you keep that Speed Racer costume really close, because I guarantee you Racer X is going to be coming around very soon to see that Speed Racer of yours. So just make sure you stay tuned to the channel for that, because I'm going to show that off as soon as I get it done. Again, very cool, super fun. I actually did something at a con that I have not done in many moons. I actually played the ribbon game. Now, if you don't know what the ribbon game is, it's when you just play little games and you basically a hide and seek of certain things around the con, and you win ribbons, these little things here. It's just a very fun little game that pretty much every con goer has done for years, but I haven't seen it really at the local conventions around here. I've seen them at the other bigger ones that I've gone to, but I haven't seen them at the smaller ones. And to see that that's catching on again here at the smaller ones, that is really damn cool. So I'm happy to see that. I don't know when the next one's going to be. This year it was in August, so maybe next year it'll be in August again, but I can't wait again. So now I have another con on the schedule to go to. I always go to Motor City Comic Con. I go to YomaCon. Usually when I go to YomaCon, I just go and, hang out and just have fun with people. I don't really take pictures or video or anything. I just dress up and just hang out with friends and whoever else I meet down there. But for sure, this is going to get added to the schedule. So we're going to be having more of this on the channel. If you are on Instagram, they actually have an Instagram page, MiAnimeCon on Instagram. Look it up. I've actually been featured on their page once or twice already, because I took pictures and I've posted on them, and they've taken my pictures that I've posted and posted on their page as well. So I'm getting traction as a cosplayer. Hopefully, and I ain't turning it into a job or nothing, but it'd be kind of cool to get recognized that I'm doing this. But yeah, hell of a lot of fun. I hope to see more people there. So right now, let's actually get into what I actually wore. So in the anime, David Martinez wears boots. I didn't have the boots. I just wore a pair of gray shoes that I had. And the pants and the shirt, they both came from the Goodwill as well, with just like $5 each. Nothing big deal. But the jacket was, and the straps that are hanging from my pants, they came from my aunt. She made them just for me, showing her pictures and her measuring me. She's phenomenal when it comes to stitching and making clothes. She's old school. She makes clothes anyway for herself sometimes, so she knows exactly what she's doing. And the collar does light up. You really can't tell right here, but it does light up. I have lights in it. Truthfully, the only thing that this con didn't have is a bigger guest list. And honestly, considering this was their very first showing, it really kind of doesn't matter. They had enough. They had way more than enough, in my opinion. So if you are in the area the next time it comes around, I highly recommend you go. I'm pretty sure as time goes on, it's going to get bigger. It's going to get better. Again, they had a lot of things that I haven't seen at cons in a while around here, and I'm so glad that they did. So again, this is going to be on the schedule going forward, and I'm so happy about it. I just love going to conventions as is, but the fact that I now have pretty much a fifth one just in my local area I can go to, and then I can just add to the schedule of the bigger ones that I go through during the year. That's a good thing. So again, if you're in the local area when it comes around, make sure you go. And if you are around here as is, I hope to see you there. I had a total blast. I can't wait to see more people at all of our local conventions. There's another one coming at the end of the month. I may go to that one. If we do, more than likely, I'll be debuting a completely new cosplay. I won't wear this one again. Shout out to my aunt for making this again, because believe me, if I had to make it myself, I was never going to get it done. I suck with a needle. The only thing I can probably sew is a pair of socks. That's probably as good as I can get, but she's phenomenal. She's old school. She comes from the generation that made their own clothes, so this was nothing to her. But for me, this would have been a gigantic undertaking. I couldn't have done it myself, so thanks to her. I know she's watching it, but I'll tell her to her face later. That's it for now. I'll catch you in the next video. So God bless. I love you and peace. See you next time.